A very pleasant morning, viewers, and welcome to the now streaming Morning Live Show brought to you from the Advent Cable Network Nigeria, where we challenge perspective and break stereotype. I must say at this point that despite the complexity involved in the enforcement of human rights in Nigeria, the rights of every citizen is and should be considered paramount and upheld. We will be discussing developing stories along this purview alongside other national trending stories for today. I am Godwin Ujiri, anchor for today's show, but I am definitely not doing this alone. I have two wonderful co-anchors to steer the ship with me this morning, and viewers, I urge you to stay tuned while we'll bring to you all that we would be discussing alongside my co-anchors this morning. And by my far right, I have
Femi Ogundare. Good morning, and thank you so much, Godwin. It's a privilege to do this with you this morning.
All right. Thank you so much. And just by my right, my left hand here, we have
Chidima Ndukuba. Thank you very much for having me with you today.
All right, thank you so much, Chidiman. Also, thank you so much, Femi, for being on the show with me this morning. Viewers, remember you can be part of the show by calling the number showing on your screen and also by sending your comment via various social media platform. But first, we will take a look at some select newspapers headline that came in this morning. And to start, I will be leaving Femi to pilot that at this very point.
All right, thank you so much, Godwin. We're starting with the Guardian newspaper and going straight to the above masthead. PDP convention. Wiki's camp meets today to take position. Of course, you can see that on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. You know, PDP is to have convention. Of course, Wiki camp, they are also planning to have convention. This will be the first time a party will be having even two different conventions at the same time. We hope that this will not happen. But let's see. They said Wiki camp are meeting today to take position. NCAA revises phone regulations on domestic flights. You can see that on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. It means that when you want to come inside the plane and the plane is about to take off, you don't have to put your phone on airplane mode again. Okay. You have to switch it off completely. Yes. And that we can see on page 3 of the Guardian. Nigeria Bar Association Monarchs urges Tinubu to intervene in withheld Ocean local government funds. That we can see on page 5 of the Guardian. And below that, we have floods. Lack of potable water worsening cholera epidemic in 34 states. That we can see on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Below that, we have ASU braces for strike as protest rock branches. We hope that Mr. President will do something about that. That we can see on page 2 of the Guardian newspaper. And to the major story, I think Soko for 172 million subscribers as Tinubu cancels planned 5% telecom task. That we can see on page 6 of the Guardian. And we have beside it 60% of public school teachers lack basic digital skills, says Universal Basic Education. And that we can find on page 4 of the Guardian. And below it, we have our church invaders add links with foreign terrorist groups, DSS tells court. That we can find on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper. And quickly to the bottom line strip. Nigerians' minimum wage insufficient to lift citizens out of poverty. That we can find on page 2 of the Guardian newspaper. If you are being paid 70,000 naira, it cannot put people out of poverty. May God help us. Mixed reactions trail implementation of the dialysis subsidy months after approval. That we can find on page 4 of the Guardian. Nigeria Port Authority spots 2 billion funding gap as investor apathy stores deep Seaport Drive. And that's all we have from the Guardian newspaper.
All
Thank
right,
you so
thank you
much.
so much. Chidima, we will be going now to you. I think you have the Punch newspaper there.
Yeah, thank you very much. So we'll be taking the Punch newspaper. Above the masthead, we have 2027 showdown. Wike fires shots at Amici. Babache trashes ADC. You can read about this on page 30 of the Punch newspaper. RMAFC faces backlash over pay raise for political office holders. This can be found on page 2 of the Punch newspaper still. And court blocks ex-NNPCL bosses' accounts amid EFCC probe. It's not surprising because NNPC is the highest paying body in Nigeria. So, of course, the boss should have a lot of things in his account. You can read that on page 3 of the Punch newspaper. Then besides the masthead, we have Yoruba elders weighed in as Alaafin Ooni Fued escalates. Read that on page 2 of the Punch newspaper as well. Then the major story we have, capital projects crumble as states cut spending. The kicker says, governors cite insecurity. Red tape for 2.7 trillion naira capital spending in 6 months amid rising travel, wage bills. You can see that on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. And below the picture story we have 36 governors unite to woo foreign investors via new platform. And this will be all for the Punch newspaper.
All right, thank you so much, Chidima. Viewers, there you have it, right, from the Guardian and also from the Punch newspaper. And to wrap up the segment, I would be taking the Vanguard newspaper also this morning. And the Vanguard is leading with this, saying, U.S. report raises concern over security and justice in Nigeria. This can be seen on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. And also we have kickers there that also says identify lengthy pre-trial detention delays as major challenges. Note 70,000 naira minimum wage has lost value to falling naira. Also we have US government praised us for arresting Ansaru leaders just recently, and this is coming from the presidency. And lastly there we have says issues with judiciary security naira being addressed. And just above the Vanguard masthead there we have Amici presidential bid dead on arrival. This is as regards the 2027 election soon to come, and this statement is attributed to the landlord of FCs in person of Nelson Wike there, and this can be seen on page 11 of the Vanguard newspaper. And then on page 10 we have NBA right AGF demand release of Oshun local government fund. And then on a sad one we have bandit kill 13 worshippers in Castina mosques. This is indeed sad. The level of insecurity in Nigeria is truly alarming. And then on page 8 there we have our Catholic Church attackers had links with foreign terrorists, DSS tells courts. And this also can be found on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. And then on page 6, just as have been read already by my co-anchor, Abuja court freezes 4 bank accounts linked to ex-NNPCL boss Kiari. And then lastly on the Vanguard we have on page 7 vision restored, how Vanguard is changing our life. Viewers, we want to urge you to get a copy of all of these dailies and follow through with the trending stories to have a better grasp of all of the stories that we would be taking. And now very quickly we would be moving into the discussion segment of the now streaming show, where we are looking at all of the trending issues and how they affect us even right here in the studio and the average Nigerian out there. For us this morning, viewers, we would be looking at one that actually trended, I think, within the weekend and also yesterday. Is indeed a pathetic situation, and I would be capturing it just the way I have it here. It says Governor Soludo vigilante operative brutalize, strip female cop member over alleged internet fraud in Anambra State. Viewers, I tell you, there is so much to this, and for this very reason, we will take a breather and then watch the video. When we come back, we will dive into the full length of that conversation. Please stay tuned. All right, thank you so much, viewers, for staying tuned. There you have it. That is the not so pleasing video footage there of the brutalizer member right there in Anambra State. I want to tell you this: the social media has been boiling on account of this footage, and indeed it is pathetic. But to say it as it is, the papers are capturing it as Governor Soludo's vigilante. And then I just want to put it this way. Femi, coming now to you. These men were charged with the core responsibility of protecting lives and properties of the indigent people of Anambra State. So how did we get here that ends up coming to the fact that a female corps member will be brutalized in this way? Now, we are Africans. We understand the place where even if an offense is being committed, but not to the extent of assaulting a lady to this point. So what would you say of the overall situation, and do you think it is right that these men in question would brutalize this young lady to this point?
All right, thank you so much, Godwin. Following through the story, the men of the Vigilantes said this lady was identified as a Yahoo girl, probably through addressing, not respecting her ID card again, probably addressing as probably pick on her as a Yahoo girl. So they begged on her, asked her, checked her bags, took her phones and everything. And maybe she was trying to resist. That was what police said as of yesterday, that she was trying to resist arrest. So they have to forcefully take her. But I don't know what happened, why they now strip her of her clothing and try to drag her pants. We saw from the video. But as of this morning, the Commissioner of Information, Law Mefo, said that Jennifer Edema this morning said these guys are acting or have acted out of their code of conduct. So whatever they have done, they are on their own, based on what Anambra State Governor said as of this morning through his Commissioner, Law Mefo, that these guys that maltreated and assaulted Jennifer Edema has acted out of their code of conduct. The reason why this outfit was set up was to try to face the menace of these kidnappers and unknown gunmen. So I want to say what they've done is inhuman, and the government should not take it for granted or lightly. The governor should put his feet down and do something so that the citizens who have tagged this outfit as Soludo's outfit, we know that Soludo is not behind this and also following it with action, as said by the Commissioner for Education, for Information this morning. So that's what I want to say, that the governor should do something so that the citizens will know that the governor is not behind this.
All right, thank you so much. Indeed, like you rightly say, the Commissioner said the vigilante operative there operated outside their code
of conduct. Yes.
Indeed, I quite agree with you. But just like you said, the narrative should be put rightly in order for people not to say it is a governor's vigilante group. But just to now ask, can we actually say these men are not funded by the governor, despite the fact that they acted in ways that they are not? Remember, there is a war against, do I call it nakedness now, or indecent dressing in states such as Anambra State, and this is spearheaded by the governor. Now, do you not think that it is based on the order given to them? And you know, when they say power corrupt, and absolute power is not corrupting absolutely. Do you not think that it is as a result of not bringing in some check and balances on these men that have led to these excesses?
I would not want to say that the governor is funding them. I want to say the state government of Anambra State is probably funding them, because it was set up by the incumbent governor of the state. And going by what you just asked, is that instruction were given. I want to believe. I'm not based on what we read, but they moved outside the instruction given. They saw her probably, I don't know, maybe she dressed indecently, but all we just heard all we read was that she looked like a Yahoo girl. They used that look. That was what really metamorphosed to the hen sacks. When they see you dress haggardly and dress indecently, they will look at you and say you're a Yahoo boy. So that was what played out in this same case of Jennifer Edema.
All right. Thank you so much. And now we have the only lady in the studio this morning. Chidima, I believe you watched through, and we've actually had a backstage discussion and conversation as regards this. As a lady, this for me is inhuman, and it shouldn't be heard of. And it's coming from a state where when you rank such state as regards to academics, you discover that they have sound minds there. So where did we get it wrong?
This is actually a case of when power is handed to people without control, they tend to do what they want to do. Okay, let's say if the lady was dressed indecently, stripping her naked, what did you end up achieving? You now worsened the case. You did not help it. Like, if we are to address it that way, from what everybody know, we know that the vigilante group was formed because of the high rate of kidnap and killing in the state, and they were asked to, anybody that is involved in kidnapping or killing, arrest the person, then the law will take full charge or full force on the person. But now you now see people taking power into their hands. Maybe they asked the lady to do something and they felt disrespected, so they now had to show the lady that they are powerful. And of course, it's terrible. It shouldn't be heard of. It's a very, very bad. So how can you naked? If it's your daughter, how will you feel?
All right. Thank you so much. For me, it is not just when you follow through that video, you discover that this assault was not meted on her by just 2 men. There were almost 5. So this is a clear case. Now, I just want to know, because the allegation is that she looks like a Yahoo girl. You get it's obvious that the youth are no longer safe, if I may say that now. Now, are the vigilante of Anambra State saddled with the responsibility of arresting so-called, in quotes, Yahoo boys and girls? What is the responsibility of the EFCC? What is the responsibility of the ICPC and even the police? So how did we get to this?
Of course, the commissioner said that this is outside their code of conduct. It's not their responsibility. How do you know someone that is into Yahoo? You don't just know the person by their looks or the hair they are carrying or the clothes they are dressed on. There are so many persons that dress like, okay, you just see them and you judge them based on their appearance. Getting close, you realize that you were wrong. So them doing that is completely outside of their code of conduct. So there is no 2 ways about it.
All right, thank you so much. We are already having comments flogging in the show this morning, and I think this is coming in from Sandra Uche. She says, and I read, that lady should sue them. They have absolutely no right to harass and drag her in that manner. Who made them the appropriate body to arrest fraudulent people? How dare they treat her in such a manner. Instead of the governor to handle such miscreants, he's busy attacking other politicians and making noise. Nigeria is indeed gone. Shame. Uh, this is indeed the comments from our viewer and not the direct, how do I put it now?
It's not your personal opinion.
It's not my personal opinion, nor the opinion of the now streaming crew on ACNNTV this morning. And our viewers, I just want to urge you to be part of this conversation by still sending in your comment and also calling in to follow through with our conversation this morning. We would be waiting to have them and then read them and also listen to your side of this conversation this morning. All right, before we go to other stories, I believe not just me, we just would add our voice in condemning that act.
Yes.
Because a whole lot of persons have condemned it, and person of Peter Obi has condemned it. The National Association of Nigerian Students have joined in condemning that assault. The governor's wife, Soludo's wife, have condemned the assault. NYSC themselves have also come out to condemn the assault. And I must say, from we here in ACNN now streaming, we're joining our voices to say we condemn the assault meted out on the COP member, and everyone responsible must be held to full account. And that is it from us here. All right, gentlemen and lady, we would be looking at other issues. And Mr. Femi, I would be bringing you in. One, for the fact that you are from the southwest. And now, I thought we've seen the last of it. I could remember far back in Kano, where we have royal rumbles and the rest of it when it comes to traditional thrones and the rest. And now we are having this, not actually a drag for a particular throne. Then I coded it as Game of Thrones. But this time around, these are respected traditional leaders in their different rights, having to throw banters on account of whose rights prevailed over the other. So what is your take on the royal rivalries that is presently loading between the Alafin and his colleague, if I must say?
It is very, very unfortunate. And as a person that is from the southwest region of our country, I would like to state that it is very unfortunate that this is happening this time. We thought these were the things we used to hear in 1866, 1909, when the king will say, I challenge you to a fight. By now there will be war from, if a fighting or your. But I believe that we are now more civilized. Issues can be resolved in a more better way. It is that the Alafin of Oyo, said that His Royal Highness Oba they said that Oni of Ife cannot confer a title that is not the right or in the right of Oni of Ife to confer a particular title on somebody. And that Oni of Ife has no right when it comes to the Oba that is in charge of Yoruba dynasty. It is Alafin of Oyo. That was what Oba Owade said. That is that of Oni Oyo, of Alafin of Oyo, that has the power to confer such a title. And Oni of Ife has not responded. He gave Oni of Ife 48 hours ultimatum to respond. Just probably yesterday, one of the head responded and said, Oni of Ife will not respond to such an ultimatum because Oni of Ife is the Oba in charge of the source. When we talk about Ile-Ife, people say Ile-Ife is the source of Yoruba dynasty. But now they are saying that it is now Alafin Oyo that is the head of the Yoruba. This is the same problem between the late Alafin Adeyemo and the late Shijo Ade of Oni of Ife. This thing will continue and continue and continue. But I want to say that we have moved past that. Nobody is looking for who is this. As a matter of fact, sir, it is the governor that makes Alafin of Oyo. The governor can remove him. I'm serious. A governor can remove a king. It has happened in Akure. The governor of Akure then, Mimiko, removed the Deji of Akure. So all these things they are fighting for is not like before. The political power controls the two of a king now. We saw what is happening in Kano State.
Indeed.
How a king is being molested and useless. So please let them come together and see to the good of their citizen, not fighting for who is the senior or who is the head. May God help us.
Thank you so much. Indeed, Chidima, if you follow through what Femi said, he just gave us an historical background of all that is happening in the Southwest. But for me, I wouldn't want to drag you into this.
I really don't want to be in this.
So we would be moving on. My take on that is that, and just like Femi rightly said, power is absolute, no doubt. But within the context that we are looking at things now, the government is on top.
It's on top.
So they should come to that point where they understand. I'm not taking away the fact that these traditional authorities are holding, are wielding a whole lot of powers when it comes to the people. I'm not in doubt there. But at that level, I think people should, our leaders, our fathers, should find a way around these things and not make issues like this come up on social media, on mainstream television, and become a thing of caricature, like
Seriously.
a topic to be discussed. These are revered traditional institutions, revered fathers that we all pay due respect to. So we want to plead with them, no matter the battles, no matter the rivalries. Please sheathe your sword. Just sheathe the sword and then let peace.
I can't fight war now. I can't fight war. No, don't fight anymore.
All right, viewers, there you have it. Femi say he can't fight anymore. But I think that era is past where you begin to look out for clans to fight the war you started, you get. Because at that point, nobody justifies who started the war, provided the king have declared that we are going for an outright war with this kingdom. It's all about marshalling the right machineries to do the fighting. All right, like you said, God will indeed help us. Thank you so much. All right, we would be going on to look at so many other issues now, so many other issues. We would be looking at that says flood, lack of potable water, worsen cholera epidemics in 34 states. We are in the raining season, and a whole lot of our states in Nigeria have suffered from flooding, and the devastating effect of flooding is not one that we can just sit and discuss. Now we're looking at cholera and the rest, and not just in, say, few states that are, say, flood prone. We're looking at 34 states, just a little above, taking 3 out of it to make it a complete,
an FCT,
to make the whole Nigeria cholera prone. So what would be your take on this, Chidima? Because cholera is nothing we hope to experience at a time like this.
Yeah, it's not something we hope to experience again, but the truth is that some persons are experiencing it again because of the flood. And if we will be honest, this flood issue is a worldwide problem currently. It's not just a Nigerian problem because it's a natural disaster. Though it can be controlled, especially the ones happening in Nigeria, it can be controlled if we have good drainage system.
Okay.
If our government look into this, coming to a place like Onitsha main market, the roads are dirty, the drainage system, they're already clogged with a lot of dirt. The citizens are not even helping matters. People dispose waste anyhow, and all of these things affect. So the truth is that it's a natural disaster, flood, and it's happening in almost every country in the world now, and the resultant effect is cholera. Now we'll be thinking about how to control it. I think that's what the question should be. How do we control this? And that's where we now need to appeal with the government to look into this and then look for ways to manage this thing. It's not like it's going to stop completely, but looking at 34 states in a country out of 33 states, then it's really something that they should look into. Every state government and then the government generally should look into it. How do we control flood? Because if it's not controlled, the resultant effect will be cholera.
All right, thank
Yeah.
you. Just to stick with you on this side of the table here, you spoke so much about it not being a Nigerian thing.
Yes.
Now, there's this question that keeps puzzling people's mind over time: the issue of climate change and the rest of it. We are not so industrialized in Nigeria. Now, do we say that the resultant effect of industrialization in most developed country is what Nigeria is being affected by, or do we say, or do we say on our own account we are just suffering because?
God.
I don't know how to really pen this narrative.
Okay.
So what is your take on it?
Okay. The truth is that the industrialization of other countries is not affecting
Yes.
Nigeria. Like it's so far apart. It's not. They already have what they are going through, and trust me, they are going through things.
So what is causing our own flooding?
Our problem, we already have a lot of I said our drainage system in the country, and the fact that we are cutting down a lot of trees. Like there's still industrialization and urbanization, if I'll put it that way, going on in Nigeria. That's the truth. So cutting down of trees, places that used to be farms or all those things, you're now building houses there. All of those things lead to it, aside the climate
All right.
change.
You know, I don't know why you are painting this thing like this. It is the impunity in the leadership system of the country.
God bless you.
Let's put it straight. Because this thing happen every year. And there is a money or some money allotted for this project. But we're being signed fund. Somebody has the money. If there is a problem of erosion in a place, and a governor is very responsible enough to know that this is the problem, he will go after the drain system and do it very well. He will build something very strong for the state. It's not all this US is having problem, Canada is having problem, we are having. No. We are, oh God. It is because our leaders are very, some of our leaders, let me not fall into the mistake of overgeneralization. Some of our leaders are very responsible. When there is flood, you know what they will do? They will buy a packet of Indomie, like 30. They will buy spaghetti, 50. They will buy a bag of rice, 40. They will pack it to that place and say, we are giving them aid. Do you know what? What happened? Next year, they will do that. Money meant to build drainage. They will use maybe 1% to buy Indomie, buy spaghetti, buy rice, and give it to them. And also they thank God, though we are God's palliative, and we thank God. And if maybe the church around is very good, Redeem will send something to Bronu, Anglican will send something to Bronu, Winners will send something to Bronu, Dunamis will do that to Bronu. And this year now, the same thing that happened last year in Bronu will happen again. And again, we will say, why are we deceiving ourselves? Why not go to the root cause and do it once and for all? That's number one. Number two is the bad character of some citizens. If you see how, when rain is falling, I can speak of my state. If you see all these market women, they will pack big debt. They will be putting it into, pouring it.
Yes.
You will say, mommy, why are you doing that in Yoruba? They will say, rain is falling, you help us push it. But where is the rain pushing it to? So it is both the government that have not been able. There was a time that we have why in Nigeria, where it gets in discipline. If you are caught throwing that in a gutter, it's happening in Lagos now, thank God. Tokunbo Wahab, the Commissioner for Environment in Lagos, is doing it. If you are caught throwing dirt where you are not supposed to throw it, you will be thrown into prison. You will go, no court. You will go to prison. They will put you there for maybe a year, 2 years. And with that, it will douse those honesty, attitude, and bad character. May God help us. Our government, our leaders must take responsibility to give us a good drain system. Number two, citizens must also make sure they are able to imbibe this maintenance culture. It must be from our part and that of our leaders. And say what have been giving us, we must not destroy it. Come to Guanipa when the rain is falling. The flood will be everywhere. FCT is a shame. If FCT is struggling, will Ekiti not struggle? May God help us.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much, Femi, for that very insightful analysis of the issues that we are looking at. For me, Femi, when you were talking, something came to mind, and it was not really a pleasing one, but it was an ordeal that we faced while coming from Taraba State, just from the recent production we went. The only major bridge that would link motorists to the city of Jalingo has been washed away by flood.
Wow.
For 1 year now, and that bridge is still left unattended to.
Wow.
If not the mercies of God, the boat that we used in ferrying our bus almost went into the heavily flooded river.
Wow.
And then you ask yourself, what is the state government doing? What is the federal government doing? This is taking almost more than a year now, and that bridge is left attended to till today. Now, these are the effects. You begin to ask all questions like, what is happening to the ecological fund? Because this is set aside constitutionally.
Yes.
At every time appropriation is done, there is a fund set aside.
Yes.
The state governor, like that of Taraba, is saying that it is not in our own purview. It falls within the responsibility of the federal government. You are waiting for federal government, and your people are dying. Your people are suffering. Immediately we crossed. That was when we were told that 3 vehicles fell into the same river.
Wow.
3 lives, if not more than, were lost. They are still looking for 1 body up to today. This is how bad flooding can be. And now we are now looking at issues of cholera outbreak. Not quite long we suffered same fate, I think, in is in Niger or some of these states that just witnessed flooding. The government, like you said, is not doing enough. We need to be calling them out to say, what are you doing with the ecological fund set aside for things like
I will say that instead of us now, or instead of the government now to salvage this thing now, we'll be waiting for when there will be an outbreak of cholera. And we don't, our health system is not strong enough to combat anything any outbreak now. Let the government do the need, like Taraba State. The president can go there. What will be spent? I don't know why we can go ahead and be building the judges' quarters. They have, we want to build new one. They are proposing building another headquarters for INEC. We have just repaired the Tinubu conference center. The international conference center with how many billions? We are just wasting resources, minoring in the major. Minoring in the major.
Indeed, I think we just have to leave that issue now because of the want of time. Now let's look at, before diving into cases of insecurity, let's look at our educational sector. And then here you have Edo issues new guideline on education, says siblings textbook transferable, bans graduation for kindergarten and orders. Now, this is not just the 4 states that is taking these measures and initiative. I think Imo State of Hope Uzodinma did that not quite long. So, Chidima, I would be needing your take on this, because when I was in school, if there was something I enjoyed, is the transfer of textbook
For my elderly ones.
Yes, to me. And indeed, when our parents will be sending them to school, they will say, take care of these things, because you know that you have others coming behind.
They will use it.
And you see them handing over textbooks that are branding as though they are new.
Yes.
You get. So
some people even sell their textbooks after using.
Indeed. So what is your take of this policy, and especially that of graduation? You need to see. I don't know if we have this video. You need to see how, especially during this graduation time, how schools celebrated these kids. You'll be like,
what's happening?
You just need to watch. Some of them used their parents' car to come to school, brandishing them. Oh my God! You'll be like, what is happening? So if you graduate from the university, how would the celebration be? So your take on this?
Okay, I would like to talk about the transfer. I'll talk about the 2 of them, but then the sibling textbook transferable. Like, you shouldn't, as a governor or someone that have been placed above people that supposedly should be looking out for the people, to now make a law to say something that will not favor your people or not considering their financial capacity, it doesn't make any sense at all, to be honest. Because if it's one parent, or what if a parent has like 5 children? Do you now say that the parents should now buy different textbooks for the entire 5 children?
I think
no,
I think
it's saying that it's
that
transferable.
It is transferable, not that it is not. So that
Okay,
they are supporting the same policy
Yes.
that was enacted in Imo State. To
Yes.
say right here in Edo State, if my child say starts school, he or she should be able to transfer that book to the forthcoming.
Yes.
Okay, then
sibling.
that's a beautiful one. That's a good one, of course. It's a very good one. Yes, and I'll also talk about the graduation for
The ban. Now,
kindergarten.
this
The
is
ban,
the ban,
yes,
yes.
for kindergarten. It's necessary because I saw a lot of terrible videos.
Mm.
Nursery school children dressed like, should I use the word like, no, I don't want to use the word, but it was terrible. Skimpy clothes. What do you now expect these ones to do when they get to university? Parents outdoing themselves and competing, wanting to show that their children are better. And what's the competition all about? It was just really so uncalled for, if I am to say. And then the one of secondary school students coming in their parents' car. This thing is building
No,
something.
this was actually primary school student.
primary.
Primary pupils, not even students, if I may
wow,
use.
wow.
Coming in with their parents' car.
Wow.
Replicating what they watch in.
I actually thought
some of
it's
these African countries.
secondary school
No,
students when I
primary
saw
school.
it.
If you
You
see
know,
them, you would.
What I will say is that
All right, Femi.
our education system has not improved, but the jamboree around it is what we are building. That's number one. The quality of education has not improved, but the shenanigans and the jamborees is what we are putting money to probably push forward. That's number one. Number two is that some proprietors should be jailed.
Femi, that is harsh.
I'm serious.
Okay.
Because they are bringing in what we call maybe different creativity that is probably indirectly they are using to siphon funds. This issue of textbook and textbook by God's grace have been head of a school by God's grace. So thank God for Anglican Communion. I'm saying this with all boldness and without any fear or favor. The Anglican school is not a school that you will be buying textbook. No. Your textbook is transferable. You can use this one. I remember the days of Ababio, chemistry, OKK physics,
Indeed.
and among others. That if you use it, your younger ones can use it. But now today, if you use a textbook, next term, not next year, next term, they will say there's an improvement. They are using it. Proprietors of private schools are using this to siphon money, and some parents are in debt. They are in debt seriously. And number three is that we should know that there are some programs that they've brought to private schools now that parents in their PTA meeting should put their feet on the ground and reject. What is a water day? Parents, so pupils are celebrating water day, and you must go and buy trunk to swim. You will buy that one. They will do career day. After career day, they will do dancing day. They will do this one day. It's an indirect way of siphoning funds, and everything they are to be bought are sold by the schools. Anything they are buying, the school is selling for them in high price. And again, another thing we should note is that graduation then I used to know is when you are leaving primary school and when you are leaving secondary school and when you are leaving the university, you do convocation. In fact, convocation in some schools is not even every year. If not for private universities that came with every year convocation. For 4 years, 6 years, 8 years. But now, everybody in Nigeria now, we are looking for means to get money. And maybe somebody is being probably offended, or somebody is harshly treated. They don't want to know. If I get my money, I get my money. I want to call, and it is because of unfortunate education system. I want to call on the Minister of Education to please call to order private schools, especially the primary ones. Call them to order. It is needed now. Parents are being, me, I'm by God's mercy, intending parents. That they will not put me in debt.
I think parents are actually comfortable with this, because
Spending money like this?
Seriously, if they're not comfortable with this, when they come for PTA meeting, all of them will say no to
Can
it.
we just strike a balance here?
Okay.
Because one thing we've been doing so far is to call out private schools. Now, I bet you even government schools are part of this.
Are doing all these things?
Yes, indeed. Because we should begin to look at the kind of syllabus that are given out. Because when you talk about changing of, say, these textbooks that students are bound to use, it should be changed as a result of how frequent the syllabus changes. You get. But when you know in the next, say, 6 years, you maintain or sustain a particular syllabus. So therefore, the person coming after you should know that we are maintaining the same thing, and these are the basic textbook that would be used in most government schools and even church schools. They do these things. You find exercises rather than being solved in books called, I think in my time we have workbooks.
Yes.
You find them designing some of this textbook in a way that these exercises would be
inside the textbook.
Inside the same textbook.
And to
so
make
tell me, would that not impact the issue of it being transferable?
All right, may I say that the government should buckle up. If there is a system and a standard put up by the government, all the private sector will follow suit. Government, please. The education system in Nigeria is becoming a menace and is disturbing. We are joking with the future of the unborn generation. Please, let's do something. And we want to call out private schools, government schools. Please, let the textbook be designed in such a way that it can be transferred. And I want to also laud what the governor of Edo State has done, and of course, ditto to governor of Imo State. By doing this, I hope other states will follow. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I think we have a comment coming in from a viewer here, and the person says, this is coming from Amara Dane. Amara is saying, private, government, and even church-owned schools are guilty of this. My children attend church-owned school and will buy new textbook for our children. It is so sad. This is exploitation.
There is a bargain between the bookseller and the proprietor or proprietress. I'm telling you the fact.
Should that be why you from the initial you said proprietress and proprietor?
Proprietress and proprietor of the school, they should be held accountable. By doing that, all this nonsense thing will stop. Because the bookseller will say, okay, how much are you selling? I'm selling, for example, for 2,500 naira per textbook. Okay, what will be my share? I'm serious. People are doing it. If you are getting not less than maybe 500,000 every term, a rebate, a kickback rather, on books sold, won't you continue such a system? You will continue. If you are getting 500,000 or 1 million naira or 1.5 million naira from just selling books for students or for pupils, you will continue the system that favors you. If the government can arise, as I've said, all this will stop. Parents also, I don't know what you are looking at. You keep on buying clothes. Today now,
like that one,
parents
really
are buying Ashwebi in school. They'll be buying Ashwebi for everybody. Because
the competition and the pressure is really much, and then parents are buying into this. I don't know if they want to please their children or what. Okay, now Nnamdi Azikiwe University,
yes,
their final year students,
yes,
they had to ban this sign out because it was causing a lot of chaos. It came out yesterday. They had to ban it because the students were already turning these things into something else, and parents are supporting them. Okay, now this one is not, you are not, there is no proprietor or proprietress there to control what is happening. These ones are the students and the parents taking charge of this and doing what. So the school said no parents, nobody should come inside the school compound for anybody to do any sign out anything because of the chaos it's causing. So in a very big way, the parents are also culprits in this. We cannot take them out of this because if they speak up, all of these things will stop.
All right, I think we're actually out of time, but before we go, there's just one more story I want us to touch. That is as regards the Nigeria Aviation Authority ordering that phones should be taken off flight mode, and I think taking off flight mode
switched off.
Switched
Switched
off
off.
completely. Now, what is your take on that? Let's just look at that vis-a-vis the issue of kidnappers who are involved in a motor accident after collecting ransom from an Abuja-based lawyer.
Is that karma?
I will say that karma came quickly. Yes, karma came in the hearts of the kidnappers. Maybe God, I don't know, maybe that man is, I don't know, serving a living God
Very
or
well.
whatever.
Praying so well.
Praying so well, and thank God that God maybe fought for him. And they were able to meet their Waterloo. I will say quickly on what the Nigerian Aviation Authority said, that phones should be switched off perpetually when the plane is to take off. And then after takeoff, you can now switch on your phone and use the Wi-Fi off the aircraft. I want to say yes, it is good. I've been inside one aircraft one time like that, and a guy was speaking very very funny English. I say, will you tell me what to do with my phone? Please don't put our life in danger, our lives in danger. But he will not oblige. So I want to support this, and anybody found guilty, authorities should take make the person a sample, and but then to go about it in a civil way, not falling back to what happened to that lady. Please, let anything that wants to be done should be done in a civil manner.
All right, Femi, thank you so
Okay,
much.
yeah.
I will take that as your last word for you.
Oh, okay, and
That's-
then my last word. I want to say that we want Nigeria to be better. Our leaders should please do something. It's because our leaders are very probably ineptitude and complacent in our education matter. That's why private sectors are coming in to hijack it now and create now their own system. If government will not do anything, the private sector will take over and will play to whatever they have created. May God help us.
Thank you so much, Chidima.
Okay, thank you very much. Talking about the switching off of phone, why people in the plane will say no, that they don't want to put off their phone, is that they don't know the implication. If you explain to people, they will know better. Nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to put their own life at risk. But we hear switch off your phone, switch off. Why should I switch off my? We are not animals. Come on. Like, tell us why we should do this. If you explain better to us, okay, this is why I want. You don't just come and lord over people. It's what the government is doing. And then you giving a little power, you are doing the same. It doesn't make sense. Once you tell someone, this is the implication of this, the person will readjust immediately. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. And then I will be taking that as the last word for the show.
Okay.
Definitely. All right.
I had no idea.
It has been a wonderful time, I must confess. Steering the ship with my two and wonderful co in person of Femi Ogundare and Chidima Undokuba this and Wednesday morning. Viewers, this is the size of our package on the now streaming morning show, and I want to appreciate our wonderful and very esteemed viewers for their time and contribution, and also my co-anchors for steering the wheel together with me. Remember, you can get more of our programs via our various social media platform, and also by staying tuned to this station. But before we go, I repeat again, before we go, we want to wish a happy birthday to our amazing, dedicated, and professional colleague in person of Mr. Chukwuebuka Levi Ike. May this new year bring you greater blessing and more open heaven. From all of us here in ACNN, we wish you a bountiful birthday. So we'll come your way again with other interesting topic. Same time, same station tomorrow. Do have yourself a blessed day ahead. I am Godwin Ujiri, and bye.